Don't be afraid of being a beginner. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So, what do we got going on tonight with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? It's one of these rare events, right? You see it every few months here in the cryptocurrency space. Bitcoin slides backwards, pretty steep. So we're looking at what, like 10,500. Came sliding back from 12. Of course, you got people telling you the sky is falling, trying to point fingers all over the place at who's to blame, what's to blame, how the market's manipulated, how it's not really what we thought it's going to be. I don't think there's anything wrong. Last time I checked, I'm just as well off right now as I was yesterday and the day before. I still have the same exact amount of Satoshis, and it's not worth any less. I don't plan on selling it. I mean, I guess I can see where some people would be. I can see where people have misconstrued the facts and they are trying to get rich quick. And they got to pay some bills, right? Because we all got to pay bills. Whether or not it's going to bounce back in the next day or two, or if we're going to slide sideways, and all these different game case scenarios everybody's talking about of where the future of Bitcoin is going to go. Short-term view, right? The price of Bitcoin is always going in an upward trajectory, upwards and to the right. In the overall aspect, if you were to buy Bitcoin today, right now, and you were to go sell it 3 years from now, I can pretty much guarantee you you're going to be up. Whether or not you're up 100x, 10x, or just 2x. That has to do with adoption. Not with whether or not you can get rich or whether or not you can make a new type of currency that's going to go a little faster than Bitcoin. You got to compete with the dollar bill. Yes, there's an advantage right now because the dollar bill is getting printed. We're seeing the national debt growing to almost surpass the GDP in the next year. And they want to print $1 to $3 trillion more when the House comes back into session in September. So I'm not buying the dip. I've already bought all the Bitcoin I think I need for my plan. And I can't tell you whether or not it's right for you to buy Bitcoin right now at this dip. But I know if you came into it with a plan, you should stick to your plan. You shouldn't let this change your plan. I think every day you should be trying to gain 10% more knowledge in cryptocurrency. 10% better understanding of how you can bring back your monetary sovereignty. 10% of how can you spread awareness to everybody else. Because that's when Bitcoin really has its value. That's when the true power of it is there. Getting one over on everyone else, right? That's what happens when you sell, when you drive the price down. You're only helping yourself in the short term. And you notice here, preaching the great word of Bitcoin, monitoring that chat over there, smile from ear to ear, wondering what's been taking me so long to get her out here, is my lovely co-host, Sammy.
Just shy of 5 minutes.
There was some sitting in the beginning and coffee drinking.
It is what it is, man.
I just figure that YouTube says statistically that people are not watching this video all the way through.
Oh, man.
So I have to waste some time in the beginning for people to get into the chat and check in. So, of course, we'd love to hear from you guys. Please comment in the chat. Let Samantha know that you're here. Let us know what you're thinking about Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space, your feelings on this drop. But then I should just get right to the punch. What is my message? Well, I don't have a message. I'm not here to give people messages or answers. I'm here to have questions, to wonder, to think out loud. So that's usually what my little tidbit is what's Eugene's thoughts out loud? What would he be saying? What's he thinking?
What would Eugene do?
What would Eugene do?
Mm.
Probably not that.
John from Malibu is here. He said, I bought.
Nice.
Yep, I did.
Awesome. Hey,
that's good.
You know, I have it's the itch, and normally I would have, but I kind of like I cut myself off at 10,000. You know, it was like because I've been in the space since the last happening, and the way that everything was, I kept telling myself everything under $10,000 is great. You know, this is if you have extra, buy it. If you don't have it, hey, then you know. So when you've seen a pullback like this and it was under 10, I definitely was like, yes, please let me accumulate some more. But now that we're on the other side of 10, I am looking to not gain any more cryptocurrency. You know, it is definitely a matter of wait and see. I would like to see this next bull run start to get above that $20,000 level. The amount I'm going to buy in comparison to the amount that we could have bought when we seen 2,000, 3,000, 7,000, it's not the accumulation of the same amount of Satoshis. So, but everyone's perspective is going to be different in this space. That's why they talk about early mover advantages. And that's why we're going to be well off, because the people that are going to need Bitcoin aren't even born yet. So we're accumulating something that may not really have much value in our life, as it's speculated on and seen as a bubble. It may not really have value until the world needs to adopt it, which could be our son, and they're playing a video game when he's in his 30s and realizing that money isn't quite right, as most of us are doing right now.
30 more years from now, yeah. I don't want to know how.
Well, he's only going to be 19 at the end of the month, so it's only 11. Let's not span it out too much more. But I mean, realistically, we have always talked about a 10-year plan with Bitcoin and getting adoption. So if we're only looking at being in here 4 years, and now we're finally getting institutional investors and regulation and all of these things in the last 2 years, we still have 8 more to go then.
That's a good point. Oh, the pothead's here.
Nice, buddy. I'm glad that you can make it. Everybody hit the thumbs up, share this video out. It really helps out the channel, makes that YouTube AI algorithm, tell everybody that we got some decent content around here. But what the content is Eugene and Samantha hanging out, not trying to sell anything, not trying to make any money off anybody, not trying to tell you that you should go use this platform or that platform or commercially, right? We're not sponsored. We're out here just trying to open up that conversation and discussion about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We've been saying here for a while that people are talking about the DeFi space. Well, now it looks like the DeFi space is pulling back heavily. Was this just the next attempt at an ICO?
DeFi's been like 6 months, 5?
At least 5, 6 that people have really been interested in it.
I don't know. Josh is here. He said he didn't buy Bitcoin. We bought / closed on a condo today. Crypto plus property diversified.
Nice. Very nice, my friend. Yes,
Real
property
estate
is also one of those things I agree with.
Yes.
As an investment.
Out here,
everybody can do what they want. I'm not here to tell people. I'm just saying that personally, for me, I find property is a good investment. There is a limited amount of land that you can always do something with it, right? You can always somehow. I've always thought about just simple cabin rental type stuff.
Yeah,
and,
like the Airbnb,
storage space for RVs and boats, things like that.
Yep,
simple
those are just
pole barns are not that
yeah.
expensive. Just passive forms of income that you can use, that you can leverage property to be able to receive.
Lord, we've seen lots of different. It's people can get really creative with just like acreage of land, and that's it. Remember the haunted house thing that we it was a while ago, and it was for like Halloween time, but it was like at night, and it was just a gigantic field that they had put crops and mazes and things
Yeah, it
or
was
whatever.
mazes, and they had used
Yep.
metal poles and
Like
that white
tarping and
plastic to make it the tunnels that you went through with slits
Yep.
and strobing lights, and they did a whole haunted house thing with people in makeup, and I mean they generated quite a bit of money, I think, because I remember that it was a lot of people were happy to go to have something different to do, and I remember
Yes.
lots of drinking and partying in the parking lot. So
Yes, it was. It was also in another slightly rural-ish town when we lived. Yes. And I mean, yeah, and they had, I don't know, whatever the center thing was, which was kind of carnival-y. So I mean, yeah, it was, but it was just a field that they just had to put a lot of crap in, and that, I mean, it was a lot of money. So John from Malibu says that his cutoff is 10.5, matching my first
great minds
purchase
thinking alike.
in January 15th of 2018, and everything in between. Oh, John. I mean, I hope everybody came in with a plan. Just stick to the plan.
Well, if not necessarily the plan you came in with, right?
That's true
Because we
too.
all come
Okay,
in with
yes.
some sort of get rich quick scheme or scam, and then end up getting screwed over, and then have to develop a real plan. Because it does really financial and independent growth, like they coincide, right? You know, like people like to say health and wealth and stuff like that. Like you have to have a good balance all the way around in order to have these things work well. You know, you can't, otherwise you're too busy focused on something else to be able to focus across the entire board.
I mean, yes. I guess it's, is it Thomas? I think it's Thomas who's like, if you present me with, then I will change possibly my game plan. Okay. But
yeah, it is Thomas that's always saying that everyone has the right to change their opinion when they're presented with new facts.
Yep.
So hopefully, you just get enough facts quick enough that you can come up with a really good plan here in the cryptocurrency space. Because, I mean, hey, we lost quite a bit of time, right? We lost our entire first year, when Bitcoin was sub $1,000 and
Ethereum was, I mean, nothing. Yes.
I mean, to trying to get rich quick schemes and stuff. And it took us a little while to realize that there is no point to anything else besides getting your hands on as much Bitcoin as you possibly can for a certain length of time, locking it away, and then shooting for a date far into the future. And between here and there, fly the flags, right? Do your part, sound the trumpets, tell everyone how great Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is. As far as all the rest, like, yes, there are opportunities to make money, but it's, what are you going to focus with all your time and energy? I find personally, I'd rather fly the flags and sound the trumpet than find out what the next DeFi situation is and run the risk of losing some of my Bitcoin by wrapping it and doing this and this and this to be able to get tokens in a new security.
Yes, right? And you picking the wrong one or something. And I mean, yes.
Or what it was with the ICOs, it was to take your Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, send Ethereum in. Right? Yes. With Steam, it was to spend your Bitcoin to buy Steam, to lock it up, to have power so that your posts would, that you could upvote. People would want to upvote you, like you had more power in the community. So far, as long as I have been here, anything that separates your hardware wallet from your Bitcoin never works in your benefit. Not in the long term. I mean, I would love to see innovation of technology and finance. But hey, let's get sound money with everybody using it first is what I'm saying. You want to work on all the other stuff, that's great. You want to have, this DeFi situation and ICOs and smart contracts. That's wonderful. Let's see if we can get it to work. But still, the main priority needs to be, let's get everybody being able to touch phones and transact in the value, and everybody understand that money doesn't have to be a piece of paper that's printed from the government.
Yeah, but I guess that is kind of the great divide, because of, not saying everyone, but a lot of the people that are traders, I mean, they're actually focused on the fiat amount. It isn't the cryptocurrency amount. It isn't, they don't have belief or like feelings, opinions, anything about any of the stuff that they are trading, because it is that they are just trying to 1x, 100x, whatever it is. And then, I mean, everybody that hodls, I mean, you're pretty much, I mean, that's the reason, is because it is, I mean, you know that it doesn't matter today. It's not going to matter next week. It is a time that is yet to be determined in the future.
But then it makes me uncomfortable, I guess, that there's always this conundrum when everyone's talking about Bitcoin, is that everyone's talking as if they're a trader and investing in the next big project. But at the same time, they also understand and recognize that Bitcoin is the reserve currency and that everybody should be dollar cost averaging and having their own hardware wallet and whatever.
I mean,
like,
yes,
which one is it? Because you can't really be both. And if you are, you're just slightly confused until you have no Bitcoin.
Yes, it's like being a Buddhist Catholic or something. Like, yes, it's like, how do you have like all of, okay, so like, I mean, a lot of people would say that we're just not open-minded, or we're not, I mean,
but see, it's not that I'm not open-minded, because I do care about these other projects. It's great. I'd love to see it all work out, but I'm still saying that how could you get anywhere with this if we still can't get people to turn on to Bitcoin? It's that I think that we always forget to stop and look up beyond the horizon. You know, it's like when you're swimming, right? You're swimming. You only get to look up when you take a breath, but people aren't looking up anymore. They're not realizing that our community is only 2.5% of the population. They're not realizing how few individuals there are in here that actually are holding their own Bitcoin and can send transactions. When you talk about that, there's over 1 million Bitcoins on Coinbase. So then you're saying 2.5% of the entire population is involved in cryptocurrency, but maybe only 1% of them are actually real Bitcoiners that are capable of using and utilizing the technology, because the rest are just speculating and allowing a third party to hold their Bitcoin.
all right, so let's see. TD is here. Hey, Truth Monster, vodka and green apple Gatorade martinis. Yeep. Wow.
All right.
All right, Truth Monster. At least you're hydrating, okay? You're electrolyting as you're depleting.
No hangover in the morning, right? They say drink a glass of water before
Right?
bed
Yes.
and have an aspirin or whatever. You're just drinking Gatorade the whole way through. When I used to drink a lot of vodka and juice so that I never felt hungover. But different kinds of juice, whatever was.
Yes, whatever was in the fridge that was available.
Yeah, what's in your fridge? Cranberry juice? That sounds great. Orange juice, not a problem. Oh, you got the guava juice? That's sweet.
Fruit punch? Okay, I will work with it. Okay, Troll Kings. Troll Kings.
Nice. Thanks for joining us.
Hold 80% long term and then use 20% to make more Bitcoin and trade. The mistake most do is they use 100% of their hodl and get wrecked after 5 years. It's the sad truth.
Yeah. And I mean, there is nothing wrong with using small portions. I don't use small portions in trading or anything like that. I do have a few small portions that I try to understand the technology with, right? Like I have a few wallets that have like maybe $50 in it or something. Whenever I'm trying to understand something, that's the money I go to. I don't go to my main cash, I guess you'd call it, or something.
The main piggy?
Yeah, the main piggy is kept away. You play with the little piggies if you got to play.
You bust open one of those ones you don't care about, okay? Johnson, all right.
Nice.
He says, hey, do you think we are due for the third traditional spike in Bitcoin?
Are you talking about the bull rally after the halving? Yeah, I mean, it's going to come. It's not something that you're going to notice right away. A lot of people have already been anticipating it. So then when we got over the 10 and we started slowly climbing up to 12, and now we pulled back to 10, back up to 10.5 now, are we going to V? Are we going to moonshot like tomorrow? All of a sudden we're going to be back at 12, then to 15? No. Are we going to get there? Yes. I mean, hopefully the sentiment is that the market will understand not to bubble like it did last time in 2017, right? Where you're 10xing in a matter of 5 weeks or something.
All right, where are we at? UK Bitcoin Master. Hey.
Nice.
Oh,
Thanks
he said
for
he
joining
can't
us,
sleep.
Brian.
Awesome. I'm glad. I mean, I'm not glad
No,
that you
I'm not
can't
glad that you
sleep,
can't sleep. I know my grandfather has problems with that as well.
but I'm
so
glad you're watching us.
we'll put you to sleep.
But yeah, we'll try. Go to sleep. Yeah, those things. All right. TD says investing in crypto is no different from investing in anything. Education comes first. Without it, the money will flow to someone more educated. I mean, yeah, that's what happened with us. All of the many times that things happened.
Yeah, it's just that there's also a problem there as well. You know, most Americans don't make more than $500 a week. Most Americans don't have more than $1,000 saved. So what are they investing? Very little, right? So when they're investing very little and they're getting scammed out of it,
Well, Troll Kings.
It's not helping to change the future.
Yes.
Right. And ultimately, I get trading, I get investing. I've learned quite a bit of it, you know, being in this space and everything. But I got to keep rolling back to the fact that Bitcoin wasn't created for trading. Bitcoin was created to replace fiat cash because it is unfair. It is not designed for the majority of people to go out there and be able to utilize it to maximize their life. It is used to suppress them.
Troll King says a lot of people would be better off just hodling, but they get distracted by the fast gains that are not sustainable. I mean, it is like the flashing lights. I don't know. We are very easily distracted as the human race. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, willpower is the hardest, right? Ability or whatever you want to skill to hone.
Yeah.
Be able to will yourself into not getting involved in these situations, no matter how much money. I mean, this DeFi one was hard. Like, I mean, there was a lot of people that were screaming to the hills that this was legitimate and they're making money and this works this way and the real asset. We've been here too long, too many red flags for me. It was just that you're wanting me to take my Bitcoin out of my hardware wallet and I'm going to be making money because you're going to give me tokens. And these tokens go up and down in value. I've heard that one before.
Scott Gable.
Scott Gable.
Checking in. Yep.
Nice,
he says, beyond what I have locked down on my Trezor, I'm liking a little bit in BlockFi, paying interest on collateral DeFi loans. It's a little finagling. You're doing that 20%ing. I gotcha.
Well, I mean, eventually that is the point, is to be able to, the banks make money off your money, right? You should be able to make money off your money. We will get there. It's just another one of these, keep it in perspective, right? I mean, first we got to have people using sound money. First, we got to get merchants accepting it. First, we need to get Lightning Network so that these merchants are doing it and we're not having transaction problems. Because we see what's happening with ETH, right? Everyone's saying that half of this DeFi bubble shutdown is that the transaction fees are too high, right? And then they're eyeing different other tokens in order to help with the scaling solutions.
TD says that he understands your point. But free will rule the day. So I think when people know better, they do better. That's why what we are doing is so important. I mean, that is the goal. I really do think that it is just common sense. Like, as soon as people know this, it'll be like, wait, what am I doing? I have no interest in any technology, in any internet anything, in anything whatsoever. That is not what my life is. How about I still get this? This is really cool, and this is really important, and this needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, I don't know. It seems like everyone needs to know this.
I don't know. It's hard for people to, it's hard for a lot of people to see a bigger picture, right? It's hard for a lot of people to not see their daily needs and wants. I got to have this kind of soda because I'm addicted to it. I need to have a pack of cigarettes. I need to have, a couple beers. I need to, what I mean, go get my nails done or hair done. Or, guys like to go sit at the bar or watch a sport. There's a million different things that people think they have to do, and it takes up their entire day. And they're so busy doing all of these things that they don't even stop to realize why they're doing them, what the big picture is, where they're going with all of this. And once a person starts thinking in that kind of way, that's when you start seeing them move over into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
Almost
right?
Everything you listed, we can't do now, thanks to what. There's no bar. There's still no bars even here. Huh. Okay.
Soon.
Hopefully,
Governor
maybe.
DeSantis said that we're moving towards yes.
They're going to legalize marijuana and open bars like at the same time. They're just going to be like, okay, state of Florida, there you go. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely going to be a different world when 2021 comes in. I don't know, when we were out and about today and we seen that school bus ride by with all the little kids and they were all wearing face masks, it was definitely like, this is one of those moments.
Oh my God, it was
right?
like a stupid horror movie drama likeness.
Yeah, I know, but we were just, like what? We were on 40 in Ocala.
Yes. On our way to a job, and school bus full of horribleness just drove past. It was real.
It was real.
It was very real.
So, if that's real, it can also be real that we can get a lot of people to start seeing the big picture, right? And when we see the big picture, we can realize that we need to do something about the money. It's 2020 and this is supposed to be one of the greatest countries in the world, and we still got people going hungry and all kinds of problems. I don't think it needs to be this way. I think that if we can all figure it out, work together, and I think the money is behind everything, right? Everyone always points to the money as the root of all evil.
Yeah, that saying has been around for a very long time for a reason. It really is. And it's not like this entire year has not sucked for everyone. So it's going to be very hard to say, oh man, no, my 2020 was amazing. No. So really, well, would you like to know more about why it sucked so much? Would you like to know when it happened and when it began? I can tell you a story. Yes.
Oh, everyone's going to wake up in 2021 and be kind of broke, right? After we print up another $3 trillion.
Maybe. Who knows?
So what we got in the chat, what are you guys thinking? Are you guys feeling anything special tonight about this Bitcoin price being down? I think that a lot of us have been here by now, right? We're used to it. It happens. It'll be back. Give it a week and a half for sure. We'll probably be looking at 12,000 again, talking about why we're going to be going up to 15 next.
All right, Joe says, Frugal Satoshi Pinchers Anonymous. Nice.
I like that.
Longer than even AA, but that's okay. Okay. Johnson asks, what are your thoughts on ERC20 tokens? Sorry that it is a little bit off topic from BTC.
ERC20 tokens is how Ethereum's finding its value. I think that it sucks when you look over at CoinMarketCap and you see that they're on their way to 10,000, coins. And what percentage of them are ERC20 tokens?
I'm just going to say offhand, a lot. A decent amount.
I think the non-fungible tokens, I think there's more there than, because there's a lot of them now that can create tokens, right? Waves was the first one that I really knew of that was about creating other tokens. And then after the ICO stuff, it seemed like that everybody was making their ERC20 tokens. I know that we had messed around just when we were trying to learn about Ethereum and everything, and we had made an ERC20 token. There were apps and, programs and stuff that could help you make ERC20 tokens. So it's not really necessarily that an ERC20 token is good or bad. It's what is it made for? What is it representing? Who is behind it? And that there is the problem, is who is behind it. Because the ERC20 token then is only as good as the person that's creating it or smart contracting it or whatever the purpose is, the company that it's part of.
All right, Brian says the BTC makes you think differently when spending your fiat. I just want to pile it all into Bitcoin now.
Yeah, it gets to be hard when you start. I mean, we haven't really had it happen in a while, right? When Bitcoin is 7,000 to 9,000, it doesn't, the amount of Satoshis that you receive for $100, I mean, yes, it's less, but it's not as much as when we watched it go from, like 1,200 to 3,500, right, Samantha? And that was where we had our dilemmas in the beginning, that it wasn't a matter of you need to throw all your money into it as fast as possible because these days aren't coming back, with Bitcoin being at these lower prices. And literally a week later, the amount of Satoshis that you would get would be half or less. Now, the race isn't on like that. So it is always a matter of, don't do anything to hurt your family over any of this, right? I mean, everybody has responsibilities to the stuff around them, the people around them. Being responsible enough to invest in Bitcoin for everyone is good. Making everyone suffer around you so that you can spend money on Bitcoin is bad.
Oh, man. Not everybody eats ramen so they can have more Bitcoin. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much that kind of stuff. Putting $100 in a week and not getting big tires on your truck or something silly for the year. Hey, that's great. Making everybody go without eating out. You were always upset about that one, Samantha.
I've learned to live with it now. I still don't cook though. Nope. TD says it's the lack of money that's the root of all evil. I mean, I know that in all of my adult life so far, it's not like I, never been rich.
Sometimes I think the Amish had it.
Right.
They don't really have money, right?
Not at all. Like, I don't even know
how
do they
with
do
your
yeah.
family to accomplish everything that you needed, and if it needed more than you went, and the whole community comes together to make things happen.
Yes, the barn raising
or whatever.
Yeah,
Everyone thinks of, but still, it's more than that. It's that whole. It's about each other, right?
Oh, Paul Rouleau.
Paul Rouleau,
here.
nice, buddy. I'm glad that you can make it, my friend. I think we are getting ready to start wrapping this one down, though. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I got no problem hanging out a little bit longer and continuing the conversation. I am so glad that you guys get out here and join me, though, right? It means a lot to me and Samantha.
We love you guys.
Still continuing to keep at it, right? I mean, the year's starting to come down to a close. We're looking at September.
We are in September.
I mean, no word on the EDM stuff.
Nope.
mean, I see a lot of them are still doing virtual concerts. So I don't.
Yeah, that's too much of a young thing for me. I think you'd have to be on a lot of stuff in a room. You know what I mean? It's just like
you need a lot of hallucinogenics to watch a virtual concert
and really feel the same.
We just need a 50-inch TV. I'm telling you.
Oh, right, one of the roundy ones that are like. I got you. I understand. That's right. That might make it actually better. Maybe it is just our lack of performance.
But we are going to start putting in the new floor in the bus Sunday.
Yes.
So
hopefully, we're definitely going to start that endeavor and see where that takes us.
Besides that, I mean, continuing to keep trucking along here on Bitcoin and Coffee, right? Keep producing our shows whenever we can. Looking to come at 2021 hard when we get out there.
Oh, I'm going to run up to strangers like no tomorrow.
So what do we got going on? Did I waste enough time with a 20-second delay to get them in the chat?
No, we're good. Everybody. Paul Ruler said that he bought today. And John from Malibu said that he buys whenever it drops. And today was a payday.
Nice,
so, yep.
Nice.
People are accumulating.
Good. It's good. I love it when people are accumulating Bitcoins because it means they're opting out of the system. Right. And that is the best thing. I said this was one of the things I said for a long time. it's the best way that we can opt out without protesting, right? Without rioting. We just opting out.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Don't want any of that.
All right, we're good.
That's gonna do it. You got any
Yep.
last words, Samantha? Anything you want to talk about?
No, just everybody be happy, be safe, be good. Buy
Right, it's
Bitcoin.
gonna be a long Labor Day weekend.
It is. It is. Do
All
whatever
right.
you know do.
Be safe. Don't drink and drive. We've already seen a ton of cops out, right? So wherever you are, they're going to be out in full force. There's no need for any of that kind of stuff. Be smart because smart people live longer, right, Samantha?
Don't play with fireworks. You know.
All right, you guys. Have a good one. Remember to keep that BTC safe. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.